Awesome. Well, welcome friends. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have a special speaker today, a special friend, Yoko, who will introduce herself in a short little bit. But we do want to welcome you to our session today. We're kind of like as usual, we're doing our Canvas PD series, which we do our best to basically want to take those Canvas agreements and the levels of Canvas usage and pull out components each week and highlight those individual components, because we want to support our staff to say, not only do we give these agreements to you to kind of give a more consistent, similar experience for our students and our staff, but we're also giving you an opportunity to come live and join us live, hear from experts and classroom teachers who have been doing things, but also we'll be recording those and posting them so that people can join and watch those later. We're going to start today with our session today, and today we're doing level 2, and we're talking specifically about Canvas quizzes. So if you're cool, I'm going to just skip way down here.
And it's our last one of level 2, right?
It is, that's true. It is our last one of level 2, which is really kind of exciting that we actually started this journey and we've been making it through. So we're going to talk about why use quizzes today. I'm going to highlight just how to make the quizzes just briefly. Like we do our best most oftentimes is we give you the link. So we're not going to go into the massive minutia of creating quizzes and all the types of questions, but we are going to show you a basic, but then we also have those questions that you might have as links. So, hey, there's new quizzes, Chris. I didn't know that. So here's the link on how to find the difference between new and what's called classic quizzes. And there's different question types. And so we're giving those links to you. So we're not going to cover everything in super detail as far as how to show you and how to do things, but those links are going to be available for you today. Obviously, as teachers, you can go ahead and just click on your modules. And once you've chosen your module, then you can go ahead and click the plus module. And then you're going to go ahead and say, choose a quiz. Well, I already have one ready to go. So I'm going to flip back to this question. Well, when you start with Canvas quizzes, it confronts you with a question. Do you want to use classic quizzes or do you want to use new quizzes? And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, we have a link that says, what's the difference between new and classic? And I will tell you just briefly, the difference between new and classic really quickly is new quizzes is considered an external tool. So it's still part of Canvas, but it has a little bit different operational feel. It also has different question types. For example, you can do hotspots. So there's different question types that can be used with new quizzes. Classic quizzes is not going away until they truly make a big migration effort to make new quizzes and old quizzes kind of really nicely synced up together. And that includes migrating, if you have current quizzes, into the new system that they have. So as far as my understanding from last night when I talked to Canvas, they're not looking at removing or getting rid of classic quizzes until I think somewhere in 2022. So we're okay for now. Should you use one or the other versus should you use one more than the other? Honestly, I don't really think it really matters. I say experiment it, play with it, and try and see which one you like. I'm choosing classic quizzes today. And then once you've done that, everything should feel and look similar to creating a quiz or an assignment or a discussion. This is my rich content editor. I have to give a title to my quiz just like I would normally do for everything. So I'm just going to call it quiz. And again, I'm not going to go ahead and go through all the steps, but at the very bottom are all the rules that I want to apply for creating my quiz. Do I want this to be a graded practice, an ungraded, or a graded survey? And again, on our slide deck, what are the differences between these types of questions? What's a graded, what's a non-graded? So we do have that information for you. But basically, if you want to capture student work and have a space in your Canvas gradebook, then you're going to want it to either be a graded quiz or a graded survey. That's the kind of the choice. As far as ungraded survey, it sounds like what it is, which is an anonymous, potentially anonymous space for your students to give you some good feedback, but no grade book and no need to go ahead and grade those quizzes. Practice quiz, graded quiz. And once you've done that, again, choosing your assignments, you can choose whether you want to shuffle it, give it a time limit, allow multiple attempts, and then you can let students see their feedback immediately or after a while. So these are really great, I want to call them features in Canvas quizzes that allow your students to have probably a more of a, let's see, a differentiated approach if you have some students who need more time than others, okay? And then you can require access code and filter, and then again, assign and date. But I'm not finished because I could actually click on questions here at the top, and this is where I actually have to build the questions. So the details are the rules, the setup for my quiz. And then I can click on my quizzes, my questions, and go to new questions. And again, I'm not going to go through much detail. I want Yoko to give a chance to share. But once I go into my questions, I can choose different question types. And the beauty of quizzes is it will grade for you automatically certain question types: multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank. Obviously, it's not going to grade for you a formula question, or it's not going to grade for you an essay question, but you can also combine those. Once you create your questions, you're going to scroll down and you go ahead and hit save and publish, and your quiz will be ready for your students. So again, we have all the information on how to create quizzes and how to go ahead and spend more time using quizzes. If you are somebody who really wants to just give a quick formative, how are my students doing? I want it to grade it automatically for me. Canvas quizzes is a really great tool to use.
And I will just say, making sure once you get into the questions tab and you start typing those things out, I get real frustrated real fast when I forget to hit the save button, because everything I've just done will not be there when I come back to that tab. So you got to hit the save button. And even when you click like to new question or whatever, there's a save button in the bottom right-hand corner. You got to click that there. And then I would also say, because I know we have some people that are watching that are maybe writing teachers or our 4th and 5th grade teachers that do reading and writing, quizzes with a very simple prompt, and then setting a timer, because there is a time limit option. So then setting a timer for like 45 minutes or something. This is a great way to do on-demand writing. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I know sometimes the time limit can stress kids out, but then I also think too, with on-demand writing, we want them to write within a certain time frame and or simulate even some kinds of testing environments. So the time limit, just don't forget that that's there, and you can easily turn it on and off.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks for that, Nicole. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop sharing. Our guest Yoko, I'm going to have her introduce herself, and she's going to share some experiences in what she does with quizzes. And I'm super excited because it's fun to have teachers come on board and share with us. So welcome, Yoko. Please, I stopped sharing so you could go ahead and share, and then please introduce yourself and tell us more about what we want to hear about quizzes.
はい、皆さんこんにちは。My name is Yoko Miwa. I teach Japanese since 1999, including my previous school, and this is my 6th year at Beaverton High School. And ever since Beaverton district implemented this Canvas, I really am happy being able to use this. And this is my dashboard. I teach multiple levels, and then I also have one Beaverage advising class as well. So I try to, in one way, humanize my dashboard so that even my students can click my class as quickly as possible visually. So I really recommend that you change the color, even insert the photo. In my case, I just selected monumental photos from Japan and try to have them visual information as well. And when it comes to quizzes, I lay out week by week. Some teachers don't. And I, again, humanize my program in the target language as much as possible. So it looks a little bilingual, but the more they learn the language, they understand better. And if you know emoji, emoji, then please add over here something like this, and then make it colorful, especially for younger grades. And since even though my students are high school level, they enjoy emoji. And for the quiz, I just prepared to show student view, or like so, so that maybe I can just pretend being one of the student. This is just a quick instruction how to guide each class. So my goal is to be able to conduct each lesson 90% or higher in the target language, my mother tongue, Japanese. So I use that textbook district provided so that they have the material, and I also have the digital version. I share like this so the students have where to compare to, not simply this number. And then I also hyperlink the Quizlet link so that if they want to hear more and then learn more and prepare even more, then they can use a Quizlet link. And then they use the quiz and preview. So this is how I recorded in advance, and then students will select A or B or C. And another option is this one is the vocabulary, but the I'll show you the preview. And this is all the unique cultural vocabulary, and how do we call a special day, and then the next question, like so. Some questions are multiple choice. I've been using the classical ones. I'd like to try the advanced new style. And yet I also use the essay form, or this one is fill in the blank, so that the students can physically type Japanese accurately and then answer, and like so. And then I can get all the result right away. And in order to create this type of image embedded quiz, it takes a little while, but I use files, and then I collect oshogatsu images. Of course, I use Google and other resources, authentic resource image, and then I create the folder. And this is very, very useful. And another one is just another, this is not a real quiz, but if you really want to use this assignment page as an alternative, you can also put your own video over here. And then how I grade, of course, I use the Speak Grader. And then when I see my students, students response in the video. Something like this, and I also greet her back and with my own video, so that パイパーさん、明けましておめでとう。今年もどうぞよろしく。2021年ですね。So this is more like it is sort of a quiz, whether or not you can greet in Japanese language, target language. But at the same time, especially during this distance learning I can have more connection with my students. So I am going to, also I would love to share, I use YouTube Studio to organize my video and image and quiz information over here. And then just like you all do, I just started learning, and thank you so much. I'll stop share.
I have a question about whether you can set it to grade for you. Like, can you select what the correct answer is so that some of it is graded? And then obviously if you're typing something in, then that would require a teacher. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Hi. So when you choose to do the fill in the blank, I need to type the expected word. And the good thing about Canvas is I can sort of expect what word or what the vocabulary words students might choose to. So I can put multiple answers.
Yeah, that's interesting because I know I've used a quiz feature in the past where it was only one option and I would have to think, okay, will the kids like capitalize the first letter? Because if they do or not, then they're going to get it wrong, right? And so that's super interesting that you can put multiple options there. Yoko, is there any way you could share your screen to show us that how you type that part in?
And okay. And as I type this one, and then I can pre-type like this. This is for the multiple choice. And I'll just update. And for example, this is the end of the year soba noodle. Then some students might type only in hiragana characters. Some might use some kanji characters, Chinese characters. Some accidentally hit a different way, spacebar, and then convert some into kanji. I try to be kind and accept this third option as well. That's how I put possible answers. Thank you.
I think that's one of the things that math teachers have shared is that when they have a math question,
yes,
with a fill in the blank answer, they have to anticipate all the possible choices that a student may choose when it's a fill in the blank answer. And then, yeah, to answer your question, Melissa, like fill in the blank, multiple choice, true, false, there are some automated question types in Canvas. And then obviously the short response and some of those other ones are not, but you can combine those. And then like Yoko showed in SpeedGrader, Canvas will grade the ones that are automatic for you. And then in SpeedGrader, you can go and say, oh, I need to give feedback on the written response, or I need to grade the part where it's not been auto-graded.
Yes.
And if it's auto-graded and the kiddo was like really creative and you realize like, oh, they should have gotten that one right, can you go back and change the answer?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm still learning and I enjoy using that function.
Awesome. Any other questions for our guest on quizzes or on anything else? You can ask her really hard questions if you want. She loves those.
どうでしょうか。はい。質問ありますでしょうか。Preguntas.
Okay, well, if we don't have any more, we can stop recording and then we can just have any general questions or